Hello students, we are going to start with our second unit of EVS, that is a snake charmer's story. Now who is snake charmer? Snake charmer is a person who plays music through bean and entertains people by they can control the activity of snakes. They take a basket and in there is snake and they move from village to village and they entertain the people. Now a snake charmer story. I am Aryanath. Aryanath is a boy and he is telling his story. I can do something special which I am sure none of you can do. Aryanath is telling that he can do something special which none of us can do. Now let's see what he can do. Do you know what? I can play the bean. He is telling that he can play the bean. Through bean he can play the music. You must be surprised. Yes, I can make snakes dance by playing the bean. He is telling that he can make snakes dance by playing the bean. I have learned this art from my family members. We people are known as Kalbelias. Aryanath has learned this art of playing bean through his family. And the people who are playing this bean, who are snake charmers, are known as Kalbelias. My grandfather Roshan Nathji was famous amongst our people. He is telling that his father, who is Roshan Nathji, he is famous amongst our people, amongst the Kalbelias. He could easily catch many poisonous snakes. He is telling that his grandfather could easily catch many poisonous snakes. He tells me many stories about his past. Come, listen to his story in his own words. Now Aryanath is telling his grandfather's story. And now let us see that what is the story. Now let's see. Dadaji remembers from the time of my grandfather and great-grandfather, we have always been saperas, snake charmers. Now the story of Dadaji starts from here. From the time of his grandfather and great-grandfather, they are always known as saperas. Here they are telling that from family to family, from generation to generation, they are playing the bean and entertain people by the bean. Snakes have been an important part of our life. We used to move from village to village carrying our snakes in bamboo basket. Here you can see the basket and they go from village to village by playing the bean and taking the basket, and in the basket there is snake. Whenever we stopped in a village, a crowd would gather around us. Wherever the people, these peoples, they are saperas, Kalbelias, wherever they stop, a crowd would gather, a group of people gathered around them to see the snakes. Even after the show, people would stay on. Even after the show is completing, the people could stop. They knew that in our tin box there were many types of medicines. The people know that after the show is completing, the people stop there and they knew that we have in our tin box many medicines. We made these medicines from plants collected from the forest. These people, his grandfather, make medicines from the plants collected in the forest. I had learnt all this from my grandfather. I felt nice that I could help people with my medicines even if doctors and hospitals were far off. The boy Aryanath has learned this art from his grandfather and he is happy to help the people through medicines even if there were hospitals and doctors were from far away. So this boy Aryanath helps the people through his medicines. In return, people could give us some money or food grains. In this way, we could manage our life. After the boy that helps the people by giving his medicines. The people give them some food grains or money, and by this way their life was going on. Sometimes I was called to places where someone had been bitten by a snake. Now sometimes this boy Aryanath was called to the place where the person is bitten by snake. It is from the marks of the bite. I tried to find out which snake had bitten the person. From the marks, you know that if the snake bites, that becomes a mark. From that mark, the boy Aryanath could tell that if the snake was poisonous or not. I would then give a medicine for that, but I have not always been on time to help. After seeing that the bite was of which snake, he gives the medicines, but sometimes this boy Aryanath could not reach the place on the time. Sometimes it was from the far distance, so he could not reach in the time. But I have not always been on time to help. As you know, some snake bites can even cause death on the spot, but most of the snakes are not poisonous. We know that some of the snakes bites suddenly and the people is dead on the spot. On the spot means during that time, within 5 to 10 seconds the people is dead because of the poison. But some snakes are not poisonous, and he is telling that most of the snakes are not poisonous. Sometimes when farmers would come running for help shouting snake, snake, I would catch that snakes. Sometimes it happens that in your home or in the farmers there are the snakes. The people, after seeing the snake, they just shout that snake, snake. This boy, I could catch that snake. This boy reached in the farmers and he could catch that snake. After all, catching snakes was something I had been doing since my childhood. Since his childhood, he was with the snake. He can see that whether the snake is poisonous or not, and he could catch the snake since his childhood. Oh, those were the good days. We could help a lot of people in many ways. We also entertained them. He is telling that those were the good days. He could entertain the people and he could have a lot of fun. It was not like today when everyone watches TV for entertainment. Today, nowadays, the people watch TVs. They are not going out or seeing something new. But during that time, the people move out. They went to the farmers and they enjoy their life. Now I grew older. My father taught me how to remove their poisonous teeth. He also taught me how to close the tube of poison in the snake's mouth. Now this boy has become big and his father has taught him to how to remove poison from the snake. You know that snake has poison in his mouth, under his teeth. Now his father taught him how to remove the poison from the snake. What can we do? Aryanath, your father used to travel with me ever since he was a young child. He learned to play the bean without even thought. Now the boy Aryanath, the boy's grandfather, is telling that your father come with me ever since his childhood. His father was coming with him and he learned to play the bean without even thought. Aryanath's father learned to play the bean without even thought. These days it is difficult. Now the government has made a law that no one can catch wild animals and keep them. These days the government has made a law that no one can catch the wild animals and keep them with them. Some people kill the animals and sell their skins at high prices. Some people, you know that during a winter season the sweaters all are made of the animal skin. So the government has made the law not to catch the wild animals. In early times, what they do, they kill the animals and take their skins and sell them at the high prices. So they made a law against them. This. Now, with this law, how will we earn our livelihood? We people have never killed snakes and sold their skin. People say that we keep the snakes in bad conditions. Now, the grandfather is telling that due to this law, we cannot earn our livelihood. We cannot earn money, and how can we continue our livelihood? He is telling that we people have not kept the snakes in the bad conditions. If we wanted, we too could have earned a lot of money by killing snakes. If the grandfather wished, he could kill the snake, he could sell the skin of the snake, but they don't want to do that because of the family. But we could never do that. Snakes are our treasure that we pass on from one generation to another. We even gift snakes to our daughters when they get married. Here the grandfather is telling that we never do that. We can't kill snake and sell their skin. We people, when their daughters are getting married, we people give the snake as a gift. In our Kalbelia dance, we also may have movements similar to the dance of the snake. Here you can see the Kalbelia peoples and they are playing the bean. He is telling that our Kalbelia dance is also done by how the snake's movement is done. Aryanath, you will have to make a different life for yourself. You have got your father's gift of playing the bean. His grandfather is telling that you know that how to play the bean, and so you have to make your life by yourself. You and your cousins can form a bean party and entertain people. He is telling that you have to play the bean. You and your cousins have to play the bean and entertain people. But do not waste this knowledge about snakes you have got from your elders. He is telling that you do not waste this knowledge, the knowledge which you have got from your elders of playing the bean and of making snakes dance. Share your knowledge about snakes with children who live in towns and cities. You have to tell the children who live in towns and cities that how you are playing a bean and how the snakes dance and how the snakes make a movement. Tell them that they should not be scared of snakes. Help them to recognize poisonous snakes. His grandfather is telling to Aryanath that you have to tell the children of towns and cities that how to recognize that this snake is poisonous or not. Tell them how snakes are friends of the farmers. They eat the rats in the fields, otherwise rats would eat the crops. You know that snakes eat the rats which are in the farmers. If snakes do not eat the rats, the rat would destroy all the crops in the farmers. Now you tell our story, also make a new story of your life to tell your grandchildren. His grandfather is telling that you have to make your own life and you have to tell your story to your grandchildren. Now let us see the exercise. Have you ever seen animals being used for entertainment of people? For example, in a circus, on the road, or in a park. You have seen you went to zoo or circus and you have seen that there are many animals that are used in the circus. You have to tell that when and where did you see this. You have to tell that where did you see these animals in the circus, what the animal was doing, which animal show did you see, how did people behave with the animals in the show. You have to tell that how the people behave with the animals in the show. You have seen that in a circus, the master is giving order to the animals to entertain the people. Was anyone teasing the animals? How? Have you seen that anyone is teasing? Teasing means chidana. Anyone is teasing the animals? What kind of questions came to your mind after seeing that animal show? After going to zoo or in a circus, what question you could have came? You have to write here. Now you have to imagine that you are an animal in a cage. Think how would you feel? Complete the following sentence. Now you have to imagine that you are a lion in the cage, and you can tell that how do you feel in the cage. I am afraid when you are afraid when you are in a cage. I wish the lion here wished that he could move out from the cage. I am sad when I see the people around me, they are moving freely and I am in the cage. If I had a chance, if the lion has a chance, he would go out from the cage. I do not like it all when the lion do not like that when someone orders him to do the things in the circus or in a zoo. Now, do you know one of many kinds of snakes found in our country? Only 4 types of snakes are poisonous. Do you know that there are many snakes found in our country in India, but there are only 4 snakes which are poisonous. They are cobra, common krait, Russell's viper, saw-scaled viper. These are the 4 names of the snakes which are poisonous. A snake has 2 hollow teeth, fangs. When it bites, the poison enters the person's body through the fangs. The snake, you know that snake has 2 hollow teeth, and from that teeth, he gives the poison to the person's body. There is a medicine for snake's bite. The medicine is made from the snake's poison and is available in all government hospitals. Yes, after biting the snake, there is also a medicine which has been made by the government, and you can get that from the government hospitals. Now, like snake charmers, which other people depend on animal for their livelihood. Snake charmers depend on the snake for their livelihood. Now you have to see that which other people depends for the animal for their livelihood. So here we are completing our chapter, and I hope you have understood it. Thank you.